My poem, Pilot's Nightmare. Dedicated to all ill-fated pilots, crew, passengers, and all victims of 9/11 disaster, as well as remote hijackings, including Terry Pine Learjet, Egypt Air Flight 990, Piper Saratoga of John F. Kennedy Jr., and Malaysian Airlines MH370. Now the poem. Aviation pilots are always aware of dangers behind all commercial hype and fair words. That not only they are flying expensive air jets, people inside entrusted them with their living fates. So they train themselves in routes with delicate maneuvers, check everything time and again before flight starts, confirm crew at the gate identified valued passengers, baggage, luggage, customs check, all stamped on boarding cards, perform tests, final validation as taxiing for takeoff, ensure working transponders, hijacking buttons all over. Soon they go into the air, severing ties with full thrust, reach altitude wishing everyone a wonderful time in flight, cut few jokes with known voices of air traffic controllers, wait for instructions to glide towards destination with cheers. Suddenly they hear a cockpit voice out of nowhere, as if ghosts flying the plane, locking on the transponder. Even manual control doesn't work, signaling grave danger. Desperately try in vain to inform all ground receivers. Recognize the plane is beyond cockpit control. Someone somewhere in charge. From ground, flying remote control. Making turns, changing altitudes, reprogramming destination path. Endangering other flights, violating passenger safety concerns. Confused, without captain's voice and movements irregular. Crew and passenger feel hijacked, trembling in fear. Fanatically press hijack buttons from all over, while puzzled, not seeing hijackers at all in front or rear. Soon they see houses, trees, fields, as if landing, praying and hoping, captain returning for minor technicalities. Familiar buildings, streets, cars of downtown metropolis bring smile, unaware of real danger, smelling sigh of relief. Helpless captain still pressing buttons for SOS on all frequencies, screaming, shouting, Jesus Christ, oh God, need help, it's emergency, as the jet flies straight into a tower, turning into debris, ending nightmare which no one survived to tell stories. Poems by Kolki. All 9/11 flights were delayed for the convenience of remote military hijacking from Pentagon and NRO, following script of Pentagon's Crisis Action Team (CAT) during war games on that morning. Quote, if our government had merely done nothing, and I say that as an old interceptor pilot, I know the drill, I know what it takes, I know how long it takes, I know what the procedures are, I know what they were, and I know what they have changed them to. If our government had merely done nothing and allowed normal procedures to happen on that morning of 9/11, the Twin Towers would still be standing and thousands of dead Americans would still be alive. That is treason, unquote. Colonel Dr. Robert Bowman. Quote, in the big lie, there is always a certain force of credibility, because the broad masses of a nation are always more easily corrupted. They more readily fall victims to the big lie than the small lie. It would never come into their heads to fabricate colossal untruths, and they would not believe that others could have the impudence to distort truth so infamously, unquote. Adolf Hitler, renamed Hitler. Quote, a sophisticated false flag operation like 9/11 has an organizational structure with three basic levels: architectural, operational, and working. Atta and the 19 Arabs blamed as the hijackers of 9/11 were part of the working level and were simply part of the deception. That is, after all, how false flag terror works. Unquote. Andreas von Buelow, the former head of the parliamentary commission that oversaw the German intelligence agencies. Quote, in the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. Unquote. Dwight D. Eisenhower, Farewell Address to the Nation, January 17, 1961. God bless our world to stand tall for truth and justice.